So bring me up to date. How are the kiddos?
They're doing good. I'm actually in my office, and my kids, so my nanny and kind of my adopted fourth child, she lives underneath the office. The office is upstairs. We renovated an old house. And so she watches the kids. With COVID, they never went back to daycare, except my one's in elementary school. He goes 4 days a week. Anyways, they're doing great. They just left. So,
well, good for you. So, hey, bring me up to date on what's up with SoftTech these days. I mean, I think it's been a year since we talked about this.
I know, it's crazy,
I just remember
right?
you coming down to, Tampa and speaking and everything else. And you always look so good when you're talking to a crowd of people. You're totally in your element because, you're so tall and authority and everything. So how are things going?
Yeah, no, business is going really good. I finally feel like, not finally, I'd say for several months now, have built a really, really, really great leadership team, like senior management. And so obviously, organizational health is so important to be successful. And I feel that we have that because we have the right people doing their functional disciplines, and they have the right type of leadership skills that can be pushed down from the top. And they just really kind of carry my same, my messages as the CEO and the owner. They really help proliferate, what I want, how I want everybody to feel, and the type of culture we want to build, and so forth. So that's really good. We went out to get our HubZone certification. So we built a program around sustaining the HubZone criteria. And even if we outgrow being a small business or whatnot, we'll still maintain that whole HubZone methodology that we chose to embrace. Because what's really happened is we've really, kind of greened the workforce. We've taken these young people who are veterans, who are like on their second career, or third career, and put them towards a track to get them, engaged in the business. So it's going good. We've grown significantly. I probably won't share like exact numbers like on the call, but if you were to ask, we have over 60 full-time employees.
Wow.
And we have a few prime contracts. A lot of our, like, the first pieces of work that I ascertained in like 2018, it was all prime work. It was women-owned small business set aside. We had a couple sole sources, but they were very, very small from a revenue perspective. But they were kind of getting our foot in the door, getting our name out there, people associating, me now as a business owner, not working for another company. So it was my brand, what's SoftTech, what's STS, so that really helped. But then as the government chose to start utilizing, GWACs and things like that, or a GSA contract, a best in class contract, our work that was usually 1 year pops or maybe a 1+1 kind of got consumed up underneath these bigger vehicles. But we were able to keep our work, just not as a prime, it was now, as a sub, but we're still executing 100% of our work. So,
well, yeah, that's great news. And I love what you're talking about with the HubZone, because going all in with the strategy that includes it in your culture does make a difference. And are you using any DoD SkillBridge interns?
So we actually have aligned with a SkillBridge, a company that's certified via SkillBridge kind of provider. And we've collaborated. They're technically the approved company, but we are helping execute, so
yeah.
We sort of do a similar, it's not really SkillBridge directly, because we're not a SkillBridge certified DoD company, by the appropriate authorities, but we parlay off a partner of ours specifically around our ServiceNow practice. So we leverage a partner in the space that is certified in SkillBridge, so we do that. But as a company, which helps us also work towards doing something with the folks that were living in hub zones, and capitalizing on obviously them being on payroll for strategic reasons. But we kind of call it a career skills program with SoftTac, which means, hey, we'll give you an opportunity to explore whatever part of the company you want, whatever you think you want to do, and you get exposure. And so if that ends up being like a functional discipline within it's like a technology platform, great. If it's you want to get a better wherewithal around HR, or maybe it's on the accounting side, because you think you want to be a staff accountant, or operations, you can, obviously so much of a company falls technically up underneath ops in some way, shape, or form, especially when you're small. So yeah, and then we work with, we've had a couple folks that were transitioning, veteran, soon to be veterans, or active duty transitioning out, and they came on board with us because their direct leadership approved them to basically have a co-op / internship, not paid, until they were on terminal leave, and one of those folks that we had come over, she's actually now a full-time employee with us, and she's crushing it and doing great work. She's a lieutenant colonel in the Army, and she came over and kind of got exposure on the programmatic side. In the beginning, she started, because I just got our certification for ISO 9001. She kind of got embedded with that. And then once she got exposure on the program side, she just really started, just kind of took off, and she was able to fill a gap for us once she was ready to actually, hang up the hat. So,
well, that sounds like it's been a great experience. And I think that's the thing that people really struggle with at the hub zone, and you've got a really clear strategy on how to use it, and you're in the right neighborhood to make it happen.
Yeah, we are just waiting. I think the biggest challenge right now is that, so we got our hub zone certification, officially came in June of last year, right? COVID happened, small business goals kind of went away, just for, I think the pendulum is swinging back, and we are going to see organizations like Special Operations Command, I think there will be more organizations that are going to have to abide by those small business goals, and then pushing it down to all the various designations, your 8A, your hub, and your SCBSB, your veteran, your woman, and your economically disadvantaged woman, all that, COVID happened, it is what it is. There's pros and cons that have come out of it, right? Or ways to view things differently just based on the disposition it's put us all in. But, when I reached out to certain folks and asked, what should I go 8A? Should I go hub zone?